Welcome to the channel, everybody. It's May, it's hot, and I got a bunch of peppers growing here in my garden. Let's talk about the comparisons I'm doing this spring against different test cases with my peppers. Stay tuned. Okay, so what you're looking at here are my transplants the day that I did them. There's 16 pots and 24 plants. There's 8 varieties of peppers spread across these guys. And some pots have 1 plant, some pots have 2. And I did not do any pruning at this point or topping. The plants were a little stressed when I transplanted them. I had already transplanted or up potted my tomatoes, and they were taking up so much room. I didn't have enough space to up pot my peppers like I wanted to, so they stayed in their little starter cells and got a little root bound on there and were a little stressed. So, gave them a little fertilizer and waited about 2 weeks before I came back out here and started doing any pruning or topping. So let's take a look at the actual pots that I have and a little diagram. I'll bring it up here and we'll look at all the different combinations that I have. Okay, so here's a little diagram showing the different peppers that I planted, the different varieties. You can see jalapeno, flaming jade, jalafuego, Big Daddy hybrid, and so forth, although there's 8 varieties. And each one were planted in 2 different pots. So you can see the pot ID there, the identifier A1, A2, B1, B2. And then the test case column where I describe basically what was done. So I have 1 jalapeno in A1 that was topped, and I have 2 plants in A2 that were both topped as well. And flaming jade, I had 1 plant topped, and B2, 2 plants not topped. So there's variations of these for every variety, and all these varieties were grown from seed under grow lights and then transplanted to the pots. The potting mix that was used is the mix that I make myself, and I'll put a card up here if you want to go look at that. When I did the transplants, this is actually an amended mix from last season's potting mix, so if you want to take a look at that. But so what I plan on doing is all these plants will get the same fertilizer treatment, watering treatment, etc. That will all be the same across the board. So at the end, when the peppers start producing, I'm going to harvest whenever I need to, and then I'll document all the peppers that are harvested. I'm going to weigh them in bulk from each plant, and then I'll weigh each pepper individually and measure each pepper, the width and the length, the width at the shoulder of the pepper. So at the end, we'll have this data, we'll compile it, and we'll be able to tell, does topping produce more peppers, and are the peppers smaller than the peppers that are not topped, etc. So that's the idea behind this. And I've done a few of these individually on my own, but I didn't really document it. So I thought it was a good time, since I had all these peppers going and I thought about it. I would just compile all this data, and in the end we'll have something to look at. It's not a definitive, hands down validation or anything, but it does give you some ideas of what to expect and if topping is beneficial. Now there's other reasons to do topping as well, right? I am growing in containers. A lot of people who grow in containers will top the peppers just to keep them short and bushy instead of tall and lanky, and they're easier to maintain, etc. So that's the idea behind this guy. Now my peppers have already developed quite well. And here's a shot of where we are with them right now. None of them have actually started to bloom or flower. They do have, a few of them have some buds on them, so they're getting ready to, and it won't be long before I can start the next phase, which will be harvesting a few of the peppers and doing the weighs and measurements and everything. I'm going to harvest whenever I need to, so it won't be like on this day I'm going to go out and harvest everything and do a measurement. It's just whenever I need to do it, and at the end is when the totals will be tabulated, and we can look at some numbers and hopefully gain some insight to this. Some other things that are going to be compared to is pots that have 2 plants in them versus the single plant pots. You know, they're all getting the same amount of fertilizer. So do the 2 plants do just as well with the amount of fertilizer that's there as the one, which would make you believe that, you know, I'm over fertilizing for a single plant in a pot. So things like that, we'll be able to extrapolate on this a little bit when we get all the numbers. But that's the idea behind this, and that's the goal. And I think it'll be fun to do, and maybe give some newbies too some insight on what to expect if you go this route. So this is going to, again, this will be several videos probably as I do the updates on there. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell, give me a like, make a comment below what you think, and I look forward to getting this next video out at the next stage of this experiment. So thanks for watching, and take care.